Hey everybody, Ryan DeWitt here from DeWitt Physical Therapy. Today I want to take you through how we use the Neubie when we treat just generalized low back pain and trying to get somebody moving again. So we can always use it in collaboration with our manual techniques, so that's a whole nother thing. But after that, when we want to start moving a little bit and we want to kind of turn off some of those painful areas and turn on some of the correct areas and muscle groups again, part of this is we got to get you moving again. So what I've done for Elijah here is I've put a couple of pads up on his low back here and down on his glutes, because these are really common tender areas that can kind of essentially hold too much, they guard, and can produce a symptom. So what we're going to try to do is throw some stim there, knock down that relative guarding, and see if we can just encourage some natural, normal movement. So we've been using this series of movements, and it works really well. So Elijah, I'm going to turn up this machine here, and what you're going to do is tell me when you feel it, like tell me when you first feel something. Okay. And now I want you to tell me when it's like, we're going to keep this really easy, like a 5 or a 6 out of 10, okay? Nothing crazy. Great. All right, so Elijah, what I want you to do is you're going to go hands and knees for me up on that table. And what I want you to do is just start with a very gentle cat and cow. Can you do that for me? So what he's going to do is he's going to rock his pelvis back and forth, and he's going to just move through that low back. Can you feel these 4 pads? We've got 2 up here and again 2 on that upper glute area. Good. And just kind of gently move through there. Now, we're starting with some light movement because we know that can be super rehabilitative. We also know that the shear forces on those tissues are really low. So no matter what's going on back there, we know it's not a really high force movement. It should be a very safe movement. Research has told us that. So we're just going to see if we can encourage him as he does this. Can he go a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more? And again, those guarded muscles that are holding, can they just relax and be like, oh yeah, this is normal movement. This is okay. So we'd have him do like maybe 15 or 20 of those and come back to neutral. Give me that happy dog, that little side to side wiggle. So now he's going to do a little side bending. So now we're going to get this kind of side to side motion happening there. And again, in quadruped, this hands and knees position, it's pretty comfortable. It's pretty relaxing. It's very safe. It's, again, low shear forces. And we're just trying to see if we can open up some movement for him. A lot of times in the rehab world, we're trying to teach those muscles how to hold and brace, but a healthy spine should also be able to move. So there is a time when we want to start unlocking spinal movement, and we just got to make sure that we do so carefully. Nice. Very good. Okay, I'm going to grab these. Elijah, I'm going to have you go ahead and stand up for me. So now, since the hips are so closely intertwined with that spine, we're going to get him to move through his hips a little bit too. So why don't you go ahead and face Tiffany over here. I'm just going to get you in a nice wide stance. And all you're going to do is you're going to give me these really big hip circles. Call them like my old man hip circles, because they just kind of feel good to move through there. We're starting to move those hips in 3 planes of motion. As you also notice, his spine is kind of doing these gentle little circles too. This tends to be pretty gentle. So I'd have them do about 10 or 15 of those in each direction. And then one of our big checks for people when we are assessing and reassessing is, from a functional movement standpoint, is can you go down and touch your toes? And a lot of times we'll get this like, oh, I don't know, I don't want to. So, and there's times to have people practice this and times not to have people practice this. With Elijah, we're just using this as a demo. But if he was in a place where I knew his back was stable, but we just need to re-encourage these movements to happen naturally, this can be a safe thing to work through. Again, it depends on your case. But in Elijah's case, can you just go ahead and, how'd that feel? Was that okay? Okay, yeah. Great. And all I want you to do is just kind of gently go down as far as whatever you're kind of comfortable with, whatever that means. Pause down there, take a breath into your belly, and can you come on back up? Let's just see if through some repeated exposure, does that get easier? Does it get more fluid? Does it feel more natural? Are you building more confidence in that movement? How's it? That's okay? Yeah, you're getting a little further each time, right? How's that stim feel, by the way?
It feels about the same.
Okay, so it hasn't dropped.
No, I haven't dropped.
Sometimes what'll happen is we have that stim back there, and it'll be sensitive, as it should be, like your body's aware of it, then that sensitivity will drop. That usually means that our nervous system is acclimating to it, which means it's also desensitizing, which is really good. So then we normally kind of turn it up. Again, this is demo purpose, so Elijah's not noticing that, but he also doesn't really have any problems back there either. Give me one more. I am going a lot further. Good, and you're going a lot further from just doing it that first time, even though this isn't a real case, right? Okay, so what I can do is I'm going to turn that off. All right, so that's one way that we start to unlock movement for people. And again, a lot of this is like when those tissues are healed and it's okay, we're at that point where it's okay in the rehab to reintegrate normal movement. This can be a really powerful way to help people move more with less pain through more range of motion, build that confidence, restore those movement patterns, and really get back to living a healthy life.